Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. I'm back. I skipped a video yesterday. Oops, hang on. I need to have the coffee within easy reach because it's early in the morning and I'm still working on my coffee. Okay, we'll get it right up there. So yesterday, I was pretty much caught up with stuff. I didn't want to pick the next, yarn flipping Friday, the next yarn flipping bag until today because yarn flipping Friday. So I was like, okay, what do I work on? I decided to go up to that white box right there and pull out a kit. Now I have kits in there that are probably a year or two old that I got from Temu. Temu used to have a program where you got $30 in credit each month to spend on stuff in your category, and then you would do a video for the unboxing and reviews and all that. And I did that for 2 or 3 months. I got a lot of kits. Where'd I put the bag? There it is. Okay, so the bag I picked was Crochet for Beginners. Notice the word. Beginners. No, they lied. Okay, it was the puppy dog crochet pattern. And I was like, which one is included? Or is it all 4? I don't know. So I started to pull out the stuff in the bag. One of the first things I noticed was that the bags of fiber fill were the vacuum sealed ones. I always say that's worth the price of admission to cut off the top of the bag and watch it puff out. I'm easily amused. Where's the one that impressed me? Initially, I was impressed. Here it is. I pulled out this bag of supplies and I was like, whoa, they sent a lot of stuff. And there's something in here that I really liked. And there's other stuff that's like, meh. Like they sent me 2 of these double-sided hooks. I don't like these, except for weaving in yarn ends on smaller yarn. For that, I will use these. But I will not use these to crochet. So I did pull out one of my own hooks for working on this project. Are these? I thought there were readers right there. My readers are hiding again. I thought I saw them right there. Because I used them and then I put them down someplace and I don't know where I put them. I can't tell what size these are. It looks like they're definitely like small, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. So maybe they're 1.5 to 2.53, something like that. I cannot read them, but those were in there. So it was sort of like good news, bad news all through the bag. There was a little snipper. I put those in my take-along craft bag so that if I lose my scissors, I've still got something. 1 glue stick, 2 metal needles. The metal needles have pretty small hole and they're sort of short. So they would do well with sewing together small projects where you need where you're working with thin yarn and you need to maneuver the little corners. I do like my bent tip needles though. So that was sort of a 50-50, like, yeah, it's actually half a glue stick. You can see on the edge where they broke one in half. Couldn't send a whole glue stick. This was a woohoo! They sent me a tape measure, a retractable tape measure. I know, I have 3 or 4 of these, and I can never find one when I want one. And the good thing with this one is, it starts at 0. With my Temu craft bag, the tape measure in there starts at 2 inches. It's hard to get an accurate measurement when your tape measure starts at 2 inches. And I thought, oh, maybe because from the edge of the, maybe from the edge of here to, it's to it. No, they just messed up. So that's a good tape measure. I like it. They sent 3 key rings. Why is there an extra? Oh, there are 2. I don't know. I just dropped stuff all over the place. I'm not doing well. Oh no, I just dropped 1 stitch marker. Okay. So it has a big round ring. It has a claw clip where you like push down this little button and it opens. And there is a swivel ring. So it seems like that's one too many rings there. Maybe I can combine them with some others. Maybe between the 3 of these, I could make 4. Oh no, there's 4. There's 4 key rings. There's 4 key rings, maybe 6 or 8 stitch markers. There were maybe about 8 safety eyes, but no backings. And the safety noses are just little triangles with nothing on the back. So that's what the glue stick is for, I guess. You're supposed to glue on the little noses. I don't do all that well with my hot glue gun. I make a mess. I burn my fingers. So to try to get glue on a tiny little little triangle for the nose, to try to get the glue on there and then get it placed right on the dog the first time, I don't trust myself. I don't like that method. And they sent me a little sewing kit that has gray, red, white, black, green, and yellow thread, 2 buttons, a safety pin, and a small needle. So I could just put this in my purse, and if I was out and about and had a wardrobe emergency, I'd be covered. So that was a nice little perk. So I was like, oh, this kit was nice. They sent, well, there were 4 different colors of yarn. Am I missing one here? Okay. Black, yellow, white, and orange. And 2 bags of stuffing. A little booklet on how to crochet, and the pattern book. Well, I looked at the pattern book. At first I thought, oh, the dachshund is cute. Let's look at the dachshund. And you're supposed to start out for the body with, you make a chain and you make a loop and then you make another chain. And I was trying to figure out the instructions from the very limited instructions that they have. I mean, you get the row number, the instructions, the stitch count. There are very few instructions in here about assembly and anything like that, because there's a QR code. You're supposed to go to their YouTube channel and watch the videos to figure out how to do this. I don't want to do that. I like to work at my own speed, not be tied to watching a video to do this. So I turned to the corgi pattern. And I figured, okay, I want to make the corgi. Since the biggest ball of yarn in the bag was orange, I figured, okay, that's the corgi. I was looking at the dachshund, and the dachshund has like little eyebrows, and I didn't see anything in the instructions about how to do the eyebrows. Was that a color change when you were working at it? Were they crocheted in later? Was it just embroidery? Nothing in the instructions. So it's like, okay, let's try the corgi first. So I start on the corgi. Just looked like basic instructions. Then I got to the color change. And it says to go from orange to white, but it doesn't tell you when to go back to orange. So I'm like, okay. At the bottom of the corgi's face, there's a bunch of white. So it must be that this is the bottom of the face, and you're supposed to start your row with orange and then change to white when it says so in the instructions. So I'm working along on it. And it's like, okay, by now we should have gotten into the point there at the face where the white is just coming up the center. But it wasn't going that way. So I broke down and I scanned the QR code and I started looking up the corgi. There were 18 videos for the corgi. Over 2 hours worth of videos. They were all marked like head 1, head 2, head 3. So I think I had to try a couple different videos before I found the part that had the color change. I had been thinking that I was starting at the bottom and working up, so there's all this white down here, and then it would narrow down to the center. Now, I was supposed to start at the top of the head and work down and just have a little thing of white in the middle, and then eventually it would spread out. But the instructions do not have anything about those color changes. I was like, okay, what do I do now? Do I tear it out and start from scratch? No, because I wasn't carrying my yarn. Because it was about half and half, white and orange on the big rows of the face, I was attaching my yarn, the white, and then cutting it off when I was done every time. So I'm just like, okay, I am abandoning these instructions. I am just going to go on my own and do it the way I want to and try to make a corgi that looks like a corgi. So there's how it finished up. And looking at it on camera, it looks sort of lopsided. The face looks sort of lopsided, but there he is. You know, the eyes, one eye doesn't seem, oh, he's done. And it was very frustrating. I spent like all day working on this, and the frustration was getting to me, and I fell asleep in my chair and took a very long nap. So by the time I got him finished, I was just like, okay, I'm putting this pattern booklet into the recycling bin. I do have yarn left. Oh yeah, there's... Where'd it go? Yep. I have enough yarn there to make the other puppy, and I may make another puppy with that, but it's not going to be from this pattern. I will find a pattern that has complete instructions in one spot with pictures. Okay, so that was my rant from yesterday. You get what you pay for. I got a cheap kit on Temu, and I paid with frustration. So that's why I say it was not a pattern for beginners. They had stuff like triple increase, or you're doing 3 increases in one stitch, and then later you're doing a triple decrease, or you're decreasing over 3 stitches, and the whole thing with the chain and make a loop and do another chain. They were making the body of the dachshund by making this little loop, which would be where you would attach the head, and then your other chain would be the body, and you were like crochet around the chain. No, you'd start, you're back here because you did the loop, you slip stitch, then you went out. You'd go down your chain and around the loop and then back down the chain, and then you'd be increasing at this end and increasing at that end, and then you'd have to do the decreases so they fell at the ends, and then you would sew up the bottom of the body. Or maybe you attach the legs in too. But there was stuff like that. And that is not a beginner-friendly pattern. So, okay. I said I was done with my rant. That's... I do need to pull another pattern from there. Another kit, just to keep a nice selection in my works in progress. But I'm sort of afraid of what might come out of there now. Okay, maybe I'll do one of the Michaels kits that I just got. See how the Michaels kits are. So, to the subject of today's video, Yarn Flippin' Friday. I did a video where I said I showed all 11 bags from the thrift stores and said, vote in the comments. I also put a post on Instagram showing all 11 pictures and asked for votes. And when I put it on Instagram, it automatically shared to my Facebook page. I got a few votes there. There was one yarn that was the clear winner. There were 2 others. Was it 2 or 3? I think there were 2 others that were like tied for second place. So I have my first 3 bags picked out. The one that I will be starting on today, I got at Savers. The price tag says $3.99. I think when I got this, I had a 30% off coupon because I spent $50, but once I got beyond a certain point, it stopped giving discount. So I don't know if this one was discounted 30% or if I paid the $3.99 for this, but it is 2 cakes of Mandela yarn. I am not quite sure if I would just start something rainbowish with this one, or if I would break the cakes down and go individually. Let's see. Yes, I'm back with readers. They were under a box of finished projects. Okay, this is classified as a 3. It is 100% acrylic, 5.3 ounces, 590 yards. And that has a piece of tape stuck to it. So this one is the colorway Pegasus. Come here. And this is Thunderbird. Same specs, yep. 5.3 ounces, 590 yards. Ooh. Well, looky there. They don't like transition from color to color. It's knotted. So I won't feel quite so bad if I went in and color controlled and caked it up in the separate colors, because I thought that it would just flow nicely from one color to another. Well, that is it. I'm going to go do my grocery shopping and think about what I want to do with these. And when I get home, I will start on a new project using one of these. The Thunderbird. I mean, those vibrant colors, the yellow. There's, okay, let's the bright blue. It looks like there's a very little bit of the bright blue in the center, and then it goes to sort of the muddy purple, and the outside has got that muddy purple. What would look good in muddy purple? Okay, that is the first yarn that I am taking on for my Yarn Flipper Friday challenge. I want to see if I can get this done along with all the other projects that I'm working on. I have an order that I need to work on, and it's on my list to find the pattern for the order. And I just keep forgetting, like, oh yeah, I've got to do that. Oh yeah, I've got to do that. Okay, today, once I get home from shopping, this should be my get it done day. I'll be sitting out in my chair watching a couple episodes of Hawaii Five-0. For some reason, I've said before that during the summer, we don't usually get the channel that Hawaii Five-0 is on because of the tree coverage between us and the transmitter. I don't know if they changed the location of their transmitter, if they increased their signal, but we are able to get that station again, so I can have my Hawaii Five-0 marathon today. Although I looked at the list, it's like, I just saw that one a little while ago. Yeah, I don't care for that one all that much. Okay, the 2 o'clock one and the 3 o'clock one. I like those two. The 4 o'clock one, we just saw that. So we have DVDs of seasons 1 through 7. That's what I gave my husband for Christmas last year, or the year before. And we're really getting a lot of use out of it. So that was a good thing. Maybe with Star Trek, if I got him the original Star Trek on DVD, there are probably like 1/3 of the episodes. It's like, nah, I don't care for this one. I don't care for this one. So there are a bunch that we wouldn't watch, but maybe there's some other series that I could get on DVD that he would really like watching. Anything from the History Channel. He likes history. Today he was out in the kitchen eating his breakfast, and I was sitting in my chair working on puzzles. I got one page done. I need to finish up another page. But I yell out to him, like, hey, what is a Civil War battle site? 6 letters, ends in H. And I don't think he heard the 6 letters, because he said something else that wasn't 6 letters. And I said, ooh, Shiloh. Is it Shiloh? Yep, definitely. Okay, got that clue. So if any of my crossword clues are about like Civil War, World War I, World War II, electronics, science. Hey, do you know this? Do you know this? A lot of times he comes through. If they had Team Jeopardy, team, not teen, team, where 2 people could get together and contribute, we'd probably do well, because we each have our fields of expertise, and they combine to make a good knowledge base. We were on a cruise once, and there was a trivia, and we got every answer right because of there were some I knew, some he knew, and the guy giving out prizes gave the prize to someone else who only got like 9 out of 10 answers right. He did not believe that we had 10 answers, that we got everything. So he gave our prize to somebody else. Not that I'm bitter, but that was 20 or so years ago, and I still remember. Yeah. Okay. I have gone down so many rabbit trails. I just wanted to tell you about my disastrous kit yesterday and the yarn that I'm starting with today. So I am going to go do my shopping and see how close I can stick to my shopping list, which only has like 7 items on it. Yeah. It's like when you go into a yarn store and you say, I'm just getting 2 skeins of yarn, and you come out with bags and bags full. I usually go into the store with my list of 7 items, and I come out with over $100 worth of groceries in 3 bags. Actually, you can fit $100 worth of groceries into 1 bag if you got a good packer. So I need to stop the rabbit trails and say goodbye. So bye-bye. I hope you have a great weekend and have lots of time to play with yarn.